on nicely. We go to England once more and look at Group E. Group E has almighty Chelsea. Jose Mourinho has went back to Chelsea, and Chelsea will be an outfit to look out for in the Champions League, definitely. Mourinho knows his way around the football park and is beginning to know his way around his team. He's got the linchpins at the back. He's reinstated John Terry. John Terry was dropped from before and has been reinstated to the team itself, giving a bit of solidity at the back along with Gary Cahill. Dembaba is reported to be going back to his old club, so he may not be there much longer. But you've still got Fernando Torres, who will probably be the linchpin up front. They have signed a few different players to foil. Mainly your guys to look at would be Hazard and Oscar. These guys will pull the strings along with Juan Mata. As ever, these guys have been scoring goals. They probably need to add to their goal scoring tally if they're going to help Torres and help this team propel forward. But it's kind of sitting itself with Lampard and Ramirez in the middle. They should have a solid base to move forward, and one of the best keepers around, I would say Peter Cech is a phenomenal goalkeeper. Really, I would be jealous for any club that owns Peter Cech. He is just a smashing goalkeeper, and probably been one of the best since Peter Schmeichel hanged up his gloves. Peter Cech is one of my favourite goalkeepers of all time. Chelsea expect actually to they should win this group. Chelsea usually have a smart record and usually do qualify from the group quite comfortably. I expect nothing less from Chelsea. Next team in this group is from Germany. The German underdogs being FC Schalke. Schalke, or Schalke 04 as it says, have got a few handy players in their makeshift team. Miguel Bastos, and up front of course Klaas Huntelaar, but they always seem to spend a bit of money and seem to get there. But Schalke should have a wee bit of competition with the other team in this group by the name of Basel, because I think Basel will give Schalke a wee bit of a wee test, because even though they've got guys like Afellay who can barely get into the Holland team, because Robbins he's understudy for Robin, so this workman team Schalke will have a few teams that will be probably hunger to play him. Basel will be probably the biggest one. The teams from Switzerland, Basel has been there before, bought the t-shirt. They've been qualifying for quite a few times, gave a few teams including Man United and Celtic and other outfits a run for their money. Basel seem to be growing from year to year, and I can see Basel qualify from this group, technically second place. Schalke will have to play a bit better than I've seen them play recently for them to actually outwit this team. When you get guys like Stockhoff and Stella. Strela may not be the quickest striker in the world, but he's definitely one of the strongest. They gave Man United quite a few scares in their matches recently, last year even. Basel, one of these teams that looks kind of average, but usually knows how to work together. So I expect Basel to finish second, Schalke to finish third, and to round off the group would be Romania's hope, which will probably be in the rest of the world. No. For a team that's always there every year, I remember playing Sawyer Bucharest when Rangers were in Europe. Rangers used to play Sawyer Bucharest on a regular basis. You used to always seem to beat them as well, as far as I can remember. Sawyer Bucharest, one of these teams, cause Romania don't have a large base, always seems to qualify for the Champions League. And Bucharest, I expect to finish fourth. Sorry, Bucharest fans, but I don't expect you to qualify for Europa League. It will be either Basel or Schalke, like I said, it'll finish second or third. And I expect Bucharest to round off the league and finish bottom. I don't expect them to do much against Chelsea either, so Bucharest should round the league off and finished on that Group E as fourth. As we move into Group F will consist of Arsenal, the Gunners under fire manager Arsene Wenger at the moment has a team of good talented players. Now, if they can break that ceiling and actually live to their potential, then Arsenal could actually match some of the teams in Europe quite easily. With guys like Aaron Ramsey I've highlighted here, who's had a good start this season, is actually starting to fulfil that potential he had. He's 21 years old and he's definitely got a lot to come in the future, I would say. And when he's surrounded by experience like Arteta, Santa Cazorla, he's definitely got some good players surrounding him. Up front you got Giroud. They are looking to get another striker, but Giroud is very astute at holding the ball up and feeding his fellow strikers, and also a very good finisher of the ball. So definitely someone to look out for. It would be Arsenal. I expect Arsenal to take this group by storm and win this group. It may not happen like that, but Arsenal should win this group because I think Arsene Wenger has the right tools in his team to do so. If Arsenal can do well enough, they should win this group with this outfit of players they have. They may finish second because there's a particular team from Germany that will probably give them a wee game or two. So, but I expect Arsenal to finish top of this group. We're talking about German clubs, and the certain German team club I have in mind would be from here, Borussia Dortmund. Now Dortmund again were one of the teams, they got all the way to the final, and Dortmund really are a good team. They may have lost Götze, their linchpin playmaker, but when Lewinsky, who was trying to leave the club, but was a bit temperamental, but when this guy's playing well and he's committed to the club, he is a handful for any defence. So this is why Dortmund could be a team to dominate this group. Arsenal, if they don't play to form, will get swamped by Dortmund, and Dortmund will win this group. Group F is in a tightrope because Dortmund should give Arsenal a run for money. If Arsenal wake up, they should finish top. If not, it'll be Dortmund. So between Arsenal and Dortmund will be first and second place easily, compared to the other two teams in this group. Blazowski, he's a phenomenal quick merchant, a speed merchant right back, and truly one of the greatest wingers in the world, I would say. He's really a young talented winger from Russia. And I particularly like him, especially since his name is quite long. It's hard to say. Anyway. Other team in this group will be Marseille from France. The French outfit will be again captained by him, Mandanda. They're a rather eccentric goalkeeper. He's a pretty good shot stopper, but and he's pretty agile as well. If him and his Marseille team do well enough, they should take that first place spot in Europa League. You expect more from this Marseille team, but the problem being is the group they're in with Arsenal and Dortmund. Can you really see this Marseille team knocking one of them two out of the Champions League? I just don't see it. I see Marseille taking that third place spot and getting to the Europa League. I don't see any reason why they should get any higher. There's a great outfit of players. It's bad luck they're in a group like this because they've got two good teams in with them. So Marseille would normally be able to get out of that group, but in this case, I don't think so. The Awu brothers, Valbuena, Gignac, they've got a row of talented players in that team. And mainly they like to have a lot of team players from their own country, so it's commendable that they've managed to get enough, so many French talented players in their one team. To round off this one would be Napoli. Now normally I would turn around and say with Napoli I would say that they'd be able to do things within their group, but they've kind of lost their edge. You kind of look at their team and you see there's a bunch of talented players, but again you're looking at four solid teams. You've got Arsenal, Olympique Marseille and Dortmund in this group. And Napoli will fight with Marseille for that Europa League spot. Who will finish third, who will finish fourth. And one of these teams, unlucky enough out of the four, will be eliminated from Europe altogether, which is a real crying shame. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's the rules. But these are four big teams, and 4 into 3 spots in Europe for next round will not go. So Napoli will fight it out with Marseille, and winner of that will finish third in the table in the fourth. G. Kicking off Group G, we look to Portugal and look for the team that seems to qualify all the time. FC Porto. FC Porto, the previous holders of the Europa League, European Cup, I should say. In fact, the Jose Mourinho, they took the crown. Again, one of these teams that kind of just lingers and works together with each other. They've got some good players. Jackson Martinez leads the attack, and they've got a few phenomenal other players who link up the midfield. João Moutinho, to point out the probably best Portuguese playmaker they have. So expect Porto to be the team to chase in this group. Porto could, quite frankly, by my estimation, win this group. I expect Porto to take this group by storm, because the other 3 teams within the group probably aren't up to scratch. Austria Vienna is one of these teams in this group, and probably Austria Vienna will get smacked about a bit, because they're frankly just one of these basic teams. One of these basic teams that have not got anyone to write home about. Just a basic squad full of just workman players again, because Austria don't really have an outlet of teams. Again, Austria Vienna will be just a basic team that will just fill up the group, and Vienna should finish 4th in that group, leaving your other 2 teams to fight it out for 2nd and 3rd. If we switch across to Russia, we'll be able to find one of the teams that Dick Advocat used to run, and that would be Zenit St. Petersburg. Zenit spent a fair bit of money on this squad. They have some talented players in their team. Danny Kerchikov is a really hot striker, and of course the incredible one, the Hulk, will devastate teams if given fair bit of a chance. And of course you've got other guys like Denislov, Witzel, which will feed the forwards, and of course Bruno Alves will run the show at the back. Zenit St. Petersburg should actually finish 2nd in this group. 2nd or 3rd in this group technically, because the other team in this group is from Spain, and it's one of these teams that seems to get here on a regular basis, because it's it's the best of the rest. When you've got the Barcelonas and the Real Madrids, you've got the other Madrids, and it tends to be Atletico that usually always gets through, with them having Falcao in tow, and Diego Costa, and a few other players decides. But Atletico Madrid should finish probably 3rd behind Zenit. I think Zenit have what takes to beat Madrid and to finish second in this group behind Porto and stake their claim for a place in the Europa League, European qualifying league itself for the knockout stages in the next round. Madrid will take up a good place in the Europa League, I think, because Austria Vienna just will not be anywhere near them. So Porto, Zenit St. Petersburg, Atletico Madrid, and then Austria Vienna backing up the bottom of Group G, I should say. Now, Group H. Group H is probably the most exciting group I could say, because they top the group with the might that is Barcelona. Now, I can go into huge detail about how good Barcelona are, with Messi up front, Busquets, Xavi, Victor Valdez, Mascherano. They've got a whole garage of talent, and they'll be really pissed off because last year they got beat by the winners of the European Cup, Bayern Munich. And of course they'll be spurned by that because Bayern gave them a good trouncing as well. Messi wasn't fit, he wasn't playing. He'll be really up to make something different, something happen. His age is only 25 years old. He's younger than Ronaldo, and his talent is phenomenal. He is such a talented player. Barcelona will win this group. Without a shadow of a doubt, they are good enough to win this group, and they should win this group because Barcelona are one of the big teams that will fight Bayern Munich for this European crown. They've got a new manager and a new focus, and Barcelona will rule Group H. Now, the other teams in this group, if we go to Italy, we'll find the Milan team, AC Milan itself. AC Milan are trying to rebuild their squad. They've re-signed Balotelli. You don't know what you're going to get with him. You definitely know what you're going to get with El Shaarawy. El Shaarawy is one of the talented youngsters around. He's only 19 years old, this kid. His hair makes him look 10 feet tall, but he's definitely a kid to look out for. And one of the talents in the Champions League this year. Shaarawy will get his chance to run down at Parkhead because Celtic are in this group as well. But definitely he's one of the teams that will give a few of them a run for their money, because Shaarawy is such a talented player, and AC Milan, because they're doing a rebuild, maybe one of the dark horses from this group. I expect AC Milan to finish second. I don't see any other place for them apart from second place. I don't think they're big enough to beat Barcelona, but certainly with Fabinho and El Shaarawy and Balotelli, they've got enough in their strike force locker to oust off the other two. I know I talked about Celtic, but I'll leave them till last. First of all, I'm going to go to Holland and talk about Ajax. Holland's only team to represent them this year kind of shows you something that the Dutch teams aren't really shining. Holland used to have an outfit where there used to be to bring through people through their youth system, but there's not really been spurning a lot of good players recently, apart from this man, Christian Eriksen, the Danish playmaker. He's very young, he's only 20 years old, and another one of these talents like Jegov, the Russian guy that I talked about earlier. This guy, Eriksen, can pull the strings and usually is the linchpin that makes Ajax tick. Apart from that, Ajax are a pretty basic team. I expect Ajax to probably finish maybe fourth in this team, because I think they'll be fighting with Celtic for the Europa League spot in third. And I expect Ajax to probably get ousted by Celtic. If Celtic can get the right players in play, then they should have enough in their locker to beat Ajax. Ajax are quite basic team. There's not really that much talent in their team here itself. apart from Christensen itself. They've got a good keeper and Vermeer itself at the back, but there's not really anything in the locker that should bother Celtic itself. Like I said, if we go to Scotland's only represented in the Champions League as Celtic. It's the only representative in Europe as Celtic, actually, because all the European teams from Scotland got eliminated. For Scotland myself, I know Charlie Mulgrew and the rest quite vividly. Guys like Samaras will be the main target striker. Gary Hooper's left. He's moved on. He's moved to England now. Chris Commons, and usually you'll find Anthony Stokes, which is this guy here. He'll be probably the guy up front as well. But your main target probably threat will be Samaras himself. Number of guys like Wanyama. They have got a depleted team. Wanyama, Hooper, and a few of the other talented ones left. They will depend a lot on this kid, James Forrest, terrorising this wing and create the chances for Georgios Samaras to find the net and propel Celtic into Europa League. Because I don't think Celtic have got enough in their locker to oust the likes of Barcelona or AC Milan. Barcelona, they caused shocks against last year. I don't expect them to do so this year. They don't have the same outfit, they don't have the same players. And unless the manager decides to pull the purse strings and actually buy some decent talent, I don't see Celtic getting out of this group. Their defence was a shocking one. They lost goals against Kazakhstan team. That Shakhtar Karagandhi should not have taken them to the cleaners on that first leg. That was really shocking. I expect Celtic to wake up, finish third, beat Ajax and find themselves in the Europa League, and probably give a few teams in Europe in the Europa League a good run for their money. Celtic are a hard team to beat when you want to be, very tenacious with their captain Scott Brown. So that's my roundup of the Champions League itself. My roundup of 2013-2014. And I might come back with another review when it gets to the actual next stages itself. Thank you for your time, and hope you enjoyed this review of the Champions League draw.